What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Resident Evil Village DLC is happening at E3, and I definitely think it is. I'm going to be kind of steering the video more towards that, so we're just going to jump right in. Capcom tweeted out today. They're very late. They're one of the last companies that have done this, but you know what? Better late than never. Join us for the Capcom Showcase at E3 2021 for news on our latest games lineup, including the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, and Resident Evil Village, June 14th at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. Now that's awesome. It seems like they're taking an approach of some new stuff, actually all new stuff. I don't want to, I don't want people to twist my words. All new stuff, but stuff for games that are coming out, and then also for games that are already out. Right? We have a couple examples of both of those. So Resident Evil is, I'll be flat out honest. Like when it comes to Capcom, I've talked about before. Like I respect the heck out of Dragon's Dogma. I'm very excited for the second one. But but besides that, I'd argue, Resident Evil is kind of the biggest thing and kind of one of the only things that I care about. Monster Hunter is definitely good. I want to get into a Monster Hunter game. I guess I'll wait for the next big one, which is only a few years out. I'm not into like Street Fighter, stuff like that. So Capcom's a tough one for me, but I try to respect all games. Just because I'm not into these games, by the way, doesn't mean I don't respect them. But Resident Evil obviously is one that's going to stand out to me. So, I've been talking about this. We actually predicted this. I predicted this in a couple different videos, so I'd like to hopefully claim not credit, but I guess claim victory, right? Claim that I got something right in my E3 predictions. I don't know why you would put this here if you weren't going to talk about DLC. Now, the girl in the video was talking about how like they're going to be she said highlights. She mentioned highlights. Now, that's one thing that kind of scares me, right? Because what I don't want Capcom's, or really not even just Capcom, anybody's E3, I understand appreciating and celebrating your own games, but if you spend a fair amount of the conference kind of just going over what you've already done or done that year, that's not exactly the way to do it. You can talk about it. Sony's done it before, Microsoft has done it before. I mean, a couple minutes is fine. So, I don't, again, to make it clear, I don't think that's going to happen, but just that word kind of does scare me. I do think they'll probably talk about some of these games in respect to they've done extraordinarily well. I mean, Resident Evil is one you could easily look at and say, or they could say, fastest selling game. They could say like an updated number amount that they've sold. I mean, they can do that. And I don't think, honestly, I have nothing wrong with it. But if that's the only reason it's there, that's kind of upsetting. So, that may sound dumb or may sound like, why are you harping on it so much? Well, unless they're doing that, then there's going to be DLC. But I really think we're going to get Village DLC. Now, we've talked about it in past videos, mainly on the main channel, but in case, people are new or this is the first time you guys are seeing this channel, again, I have predicted the DLC possibilities. We've talked about maybe you do something with, going super off the beaten path. You could do something with Rose to try to set up 9. You could go that route. You could do something with Chris and go with his perspective of what was happening in Village while you were playing as Ethan. That seems the easiest. That seems the most kind of obvious and like right in your face. You could do like an Ada Wong thing. Again, and my pitch for this has always been, look, they had like the art, they had like what they wanted her to look like in this game. They took her out. Now we don't know if they took her out last second, but they took her out. But they did like design her. So could you come up with something where you could play as her? Do you do one DLC, like one story mission? Can you do more than one? Right? Those are all possibilities. So those are I guess basically things that I've talked about before. Really. Honestly, I guess I would take anything at this point if you want to give anything. I feel like it would be a good time to you probably don't need to show it. And by show it, I mean like long, deep dives into it. I mean, I can't imagine them being longer than a few hours anyway, like maximum. So you probably would just say, hey, here's the DLC plans, here's the names of them, here's who you'd be playing as in them, and then here's the release date for them. Maybe even here's the price, here's what you would need to do to get them, something like that. I would imagine that's the way they go. But very exciting. Again, the thing that stands out. Now, the Monster Hunter stuff is cool. They don't, there's no tease of Dragon's Dogma 2. There's no tease of Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, again, we know these things are happening. Like, because of that Capcom data breach, these are all things we know. We know the dates or the quarters of the years that Capcom wanted these games to come out in. So, like, and, you know, those things could change. But we know those things. It is kind of funny to see them. Now, I don't appreciate the data breach. I don't support it because like, it's great to know about games, but not that way. You don't have to hack them and do stuff like that. But it is kind of funny / weird / ironic, you know, whatever word you want to use, that they're, you know, kind of avoiding it. It's like, well, Resident Evil 4 remake could be happening, but it's like, well, we know it's happening. Dragon's Dogma 2, oh, who likes Dragon's Dogma? Well, we know there's Dragon's Dogma 2, you know what I mean? So hopefully we get more than just those 4 things. I don't know. I still... You know, some of these shows we have like a length of time of like how long to expect. Some of them we don't. I mean, Capcom's show could be 15 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It could be an hour. You know, it depends on. We don't really. In that tweet, they didn't say it. Maybe they said it somewhere else that I just flat out missed. But you know, I'm very excited. I think at the very least, especially if you're a Resident Evil person like I am, Resident Evil Village DLC seems like an absolute lock. I mean, I would go into it. I'm going into it now, feeling extraordinarily, confident in it, okay? So let me know, guys, in the comments below. Do you think we'll see it? You know, when do you think it would release? You know, what do you think the DLC would be? All that stuff, let me know in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Again, I do have a main channel, like you guys may know me from Podcast Now. This is Podcast Now Plus. Subscribe, bell icon turn on. I do a new video, 1 video a day here, although for E3 time, I'll probably do more than a video a day here, okay? So lots of content coming. I hope to see you guys there.